go! Welcome back to the Real Deal Durham Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Henry, and this podcast is all about empowering you to make the best real estate decisions possible. Whether you're buying, selling, or investing, the goal of this podcast is to make sure you make the best real estate decisions possible. Like I said, my name is Isaiah Henry, and I'm your host. For those of you who don't know me, I was born and raised in the Durham Region. I was born out in Pickering, live now in Whitby. I'm a six-figure real estate investor, and I specialize in value-add strategies as well as long-distance real estate investing. I'm an author, speaker, and best of all, I'm your community-focused real estate agent. And I'm super excited for this podcast, super excited for this episode. Fun fact about me, I'm in love with red velvet cake, but not cream cheese icing. I like buttercream icing. It's very different and very specific. So if you're ever going to give me a gift, I'm a big sucker for red velvet cake, but make sure you get the icing right. Guys, you didn't come here to hear about me. You came here to hear about some real estate. So without further ado, let's get into the podcast. All right, guys, welcome back. And today's quick tip is to prepare your home. Now, this one's for my sellers out there. So prior to listing or even getting your house ready for rent, you want to make sure you declutter, clean, and stage your house to make sure it showcases its best features. First impressions matter, trust me, I know. And a well-presented home attracts more qualified buyers and actually fetches a higher price, so something you want to keep in mind there. Now, big thing about this, you don't have to do everything yourself. I feel like people think it's a big undertaking to get their home ready. They gotta clean, they gotta find a bed, they gotta find things that match. Guys, we don't have to do this all by ourselves. There's some amazing stagers out there that I work with. There's some amazing stagers out there in general, and they can help get your place ready. We also have virtual staging options now in 2023, which can make this whole process very, very simple. Now, again, another thing people don't like to do is spend money on this. Like, I'm not gonna lie, some of these stagers are a little bit pricey, but you can work this into either the sale price of your house or what you're expecting to get for rent. Now, if you can increase your rent by $100 or $200 a month just because you stage the property, wouldn't you say it's worth it? And on the same kind of note, if you were gonna get like an extra $15,000 or $20,000 for your house, but had to spend $5,000 on staging, would you not rather go that extra amount to make sure you're getting the best price possible? Guys, don't focus so much on the price. It's all about the value. If a little bit of staging can get you a higher price or a higher rent, trust me, let's get into it. And finally, guys, I want to give you a couple tricks. Now, these are industry secrets, so come close. Now, this is more if you're having people come through on like a showing, open house, walkthrough kind of situation, but two things that I like to do. First thing, I call it the cookie trick. Now, again, I'm not baking cookies for the whole neighborhood, but just before people come in, if you put one like freshly baked chocolate chip cookie in the oven and you just cook one regular cookie, the whole house is gonna smell like baked goods, and I'm telling you, it just leaves people in a really positive light to therefore maybe look over some imperfections and really get that positive mindset flowing as they go through and view your property, whether for sale or for lease. Now, another thing that I really like to do that's super easy, if you're gonna list your house like to sell or to rent, you've probably done some upgrades, maybe some paint, flooring, whatever. So if you have some extra paint, usually white paint because it's not going to show, if you paint right above some of the doorways, when people enter different rooms, they're going to get that smell of fresh paint just hits them. And it's nothing like a fresh smell of fresh paint to really set it off. It's going to be like, wow, this homeowner or this landlord really took the time to, upgrade their property. I wonder what else they've done right at this property. And again, puts those buyers or puts those tenants in a positive light to make sure that you're getting the most for your property that you possibly can. So guys, that's a quick tip. Make sure you guys prepare your home. Guys, this is the Real Deal Durham Podcast with your host, Isaiah Henry, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. Now, for most of you guys, I'm both a realtor and I'm an investor. So I got a lot of business going on. So I want to share a little bit with what's going on in the business today. So this month, oh my goodness, it's the month of leases, both for myself, my clients, and some of the other property owners. So it's been really cool diving into like almost strictly leases this month. We just closed 2 leases like yesterday, which is really cool. Everyone's getting into their property, some for the 1st, some for the 15th, which is really cool. For myself, I was able to get increased rent on one, which is awesome. It's always like, a sad day when your tenants leave, but when you're able to increase the rent right after, it's a really good spot there. So guys, if your tenant leaves, it's not always the worst thing. You might be able to raise your rent there. But again, 2 leases done, one for my client, one for myself. Now, another thing that happened kind of on the same accord. First of all, shout out to Single Key. They really held me down for this. So I was literally, I just woke up and I had an email from a tenant. She gave me an N9, which is a landlord tenant board form that's the tenant's gonna end their tenancy. Now, usually you got to provide 60 days, but no, not my tenant. She provided me 6 days. She said, hey, I'm leaving in 6 days, so bye. And I was like, oh, well, this is kind of awkward. So again, not the best way to give notice, but again, I was okay. I had single keys, rent guarantee. I didn't stress, contacted single key, got everything taken care of. So now I'm able to take that extra 2-3 weeks or even a month if I need to find that quality tenant to replace the tenant I had. And I don't have to like stress, run around, find a tenant who may not be qualified for my property just to make sure I make next month's rent. So again, super excited that I had the rent guarantee. If you haven't heard about it, make sure you go check them out. They're awesome. A couple other things I've been working on. It's my first time dealing with a tenant on Ontario Works. Again, I will never ever discriminate against any tenant for any one of my properties. If they meet the qualifications and they go through our screening process and they're qualified, I'm happy to have them in the rental. So again, first time with Ontario Works. They've been really good, working with the caseworker, working with the tenant, everything's been on the up and up. So really excited to get them into a property. They've been looking for a couple months, so very happy that mine came up and they're able to get into that property. And finally, guys, I'm working on the deal of the century. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'm going to knock on wood, knock on skull, whatever you got to do. This might be the best deal that I've ever put together. I don't want to release too much because it's still kind of early in the stages there. But guys, pray for me, knock on wood, do whatever you got to do. This deal should be super cool, and I'm excited to tell you guys about it. I guess it would be next month. So we're in, August now? So beginning of September, everything should be ironed out, and we'll be able to discuss a little bit more. Super excited. But yeah, that's what's going on business-wise. And again, Real Deal Durham Podcast. Super excited you guys chose to listen. We'll be right back. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Real Deal Durham Podcast with your host, Isaiah Henry. In today's topic discussion, we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my realtor heart. We're going to talk about 5 reasons why you should sell your house with a realtor. Now, no, everyone, just please settle down. I'm not here just soliciting business, but again, if you know someone who's looking to buy or sell, you know where to go. But the reason that I wanted to kind of get into this topic is I've been seeing a lot of for sale by owner signs coming around the Durham region. Like everyone's just popping them up in their line, and I get it. You want to save on fees, times are tough, interest rates are going crazy. There's like a lot of instability in the market, and a lot of homeowners are taking it upon themselves to see if they can get the best price for them. And hey, I'm not against people doing what they got to do to survive, but I really want to dig into 5 main reasons why I believe it is smart. Even if I wasn't a realtor, I would still take these reasons to heart about why I actually would want to sell a house with a realtor rather than doing it by myself. So these are the 5 reasons. So first thing, market experience. And don't worry, I'm going to go into all of them. So first, market experience. They have a wide network of marketing and marketing tools. Number 3, negotiation skills. 4, paperwork and legal compliance. And lastly, number 5, time stress and time savings. Now listen, if those 5 didn't put you into a good mood to hook up with a realtor for your next sale, when I go into a little bit more detail, hopefully that helps you out. All right, so let's get it going. Market expertise. Now listen, if you work with a qualified realtor in your area, wherever you are, they're gonna have like outstanding local market knowledge. That's why, again, I think it's so key to work with a realtor who's actually in the market. Now in Ontario, you can sell anywhere, but I really think it's a disservice if you're selling in regions that you have no idea what's going on locally. So again, if you're gonna work with a local real estate agent who has local market knowledge, they're gonna know that market super well. They're gonna know the trends. They're gonna know the values of properties. They're gonna know what kind of conditions. They're gonna know if a certain area of a neighborhood has like certain deficiencies, or if certain areas of a neighborhood have something up and coming that you otherwise wouldn't have known. And again, you're not gonna get this as a regular property owner. That's why I think it's so key to work with these qualified realtors, because their local market knowledge is, 1, gonna help you make the best real estate decisions possible, and 2, it's gonna help you get the most money for your house, whether you're looking to buy or to sell. Whether you're looking to sell. I'll do one on the buyers next time. Number 2, accurate pricing. Now, a big thing what we do in the real estate agent community is called the CMA, or comparative market analysis. And what that is we actually like compare some properties. We're going to compare some of the basic features against each other, so you can actually see, all things being equal, what properties are actually worth. Now, when you get a real detailed CMA, or comparative market analysis, you get to see what your property is actually worth, and that should translate to the sale price that you see in the market. Now, without a realtor, it's kind of hard to do this because, again, you don't have that local market knowledge. You don't have that education behind you helping you make these qualified, high-value real estate decisions. So again, these comparative market analysis showing you exactly what your property should be worth on the market is really helpful to you as a seller. And the last thing in this section is attracting buyers. This is what we do. We go out there, we network, we shake hands, we kiss babies. We're making sure we're putting buyers in front of you. But I don't want to go too deep on this because I want to jump in on the next section here. So that's number one, market expertise. And number two, they have a wide network for marketing and marketing tools. Now, any good real estate agent, they love to talk. I mean, as soon as you get them in the room, they're the center of attention. Everyone's gifting gabs. They're throwing out business cards like Tic Tacs and like all the attention's on them. Now, while that might be self-serving, it's really good for you as a seller because the more people they know, the bigger their sphere of influence, the bigger their database, and the more eyes they're going to put on your property. And the more eyes on your property is going to translate to a better sale price for you. Now, this is great because when you work with a wide network of buyers and professionals, these realtors can bring these towards your listing or your home to make sure that you're getting the most eyes on it, the most traffic, and hopefully translating into a sale price that works for you, your goals, and kind of where you're looking to go with your property. Now, another thing that realtors do is they have diverse marketing strategies. Now, again, I'm not going to reference 2021 where you can pretty much just like hold up a picture of a house and it would go $100,000 over asking. Especially in this market, qualified real estate agents are going above and beyond to make sure that your property is being shown to the right people to get the right traffic and the right amount of attention. Online listings like the MLS, social media, open houses, and some like very interesting tactics that realtors do to get different eyes on the property. I've seen drive-bys, I've seen, driveway car washes. I've seen a lot of different strategies that realtors are using, some of them that I'm using myself to make sure they're getting extra attention on your property. Extra attention, like I said, translates into more eyes translates into a better price for you as a seller there. So again, diverse marketing strategies with your realtor. And finally, increased exposure. Like I've said before, the more eyes we get on your property, the better sale price we're hoping to get. Working with a qualified realtor is going to help make sure your property gets maximum visibility, and not just the regular channels. We're going to spread it all across all channels. Now, this increased visibility not only is going to get you that sale price you're looking for, we're going to get this done quicker because who wants their property sitting on the market for 60, 70 days? That's not fun for anyone. When you're working with a realtor, they're going to make sure they're getting the eyes on your property fast and efficiently to make sure we're getting that sale closed as soon as we can. Now, that's number two. That is wide network and marketing tools. Now, the third reason why you must be working with a realtor to sell your home is their negotiating skills. Now, guys, listen, this is my go-to. This is why I got into the game. The paperwork, the flowers, that's all nice, but I make my money at the negotiation table. When you're working with an expert or skilled real estate agent, their negotiation skills are off the charts, and honestly, it's one of my favorite parts of the real estate industry. They're expert negotiators and they're representing you. Because I'll be honest, you don't want to be on the other side of the table against me. I'm coming with everything I got. But if you're working with a realtor, you're working with myself on my kind of deals, that's the kind of energy, that's the kind of value that a realtor can provide for you, especially when you're negotiating with a buyer and a seller in a deal. Now, they're working to make sure you get the best possible deal. Now, that doesn't always mean price. I know a lot of people like, just give me the best price and that's fine. Well, price is only one part of a real estate transaction. There's price and there's terms. And when you work with a qualified real estate agent, they're able to balance those two elements out to make sure you as a seller get the best possible deal that's inclusive of price and terms. Like for instance, I'm sure you wouldn't want if you wanted to sell your house for say $800K, but you have to pay everybody's legals, which would make sure you only walked away with $760 in your pocket. You would much rather take $790 to make sure all $790 comes in your pocket. Again, these real estate agents or these qualified realtors are going to make sure they work for you to make sure the best deal possible is what you get, whether that's price, terms, or a combination of the two. The last thing in this section here is conflict resolution. Now, I had a career in law enforcement, so I'm all about conflict resolution. Guys, I'm about that smoke, and it's all good with me on the realtor side. But when you don't work with a real estate agent, you're kind of fending for yourself. Conflicts come up out of nowhere. You're putting out fires. You're trying to do so many things that you as a homeowner may not be equipped to do. But when you work with a qualified real estate agent, they're ready for this conflict resolution. They're handling challenges. They're putting out fires. They're negotiating. They're doing everything for you on the back end. And if they're really good, they're not even going to let you know that they're doing it. They're going to work on your behalf as your fiduciary to make sure, again, you're getting that best deal possible. Smooth is fast and fast is smooth. So the smoother transaction that realtor can get you, the better overall outcome it's going to be for you as the seller. So again, work with a realtor to make sure that they're using their negotiation skills for you in their side of the transaction. Now, the fourth reason why you should be working with a realtor if you're looking to sell your house is the paperwork and compliance. Ugh. Guys, it's not the most fun part of being in the real estate industry, but it is super important. I don't know if you guys have looked at an APS or agreement of purchase and sale in the last 60 days, but that thing is long, bruh. It is pages on pages. There's small writing, there's bold writing, there's areas to sign, there's dates, there's so much on there. And again, if you're not doing this every day or you're not transacting a lot, this can be really overwhelming, and at worst, you might actually make a mistake that could be costly, especially in the sale of probably the most expensive thing that you've ever owned. So again, working with a realtor they're gonna bring an expert level of documentation. They're gonna handle all the paperwork. It's gonna be professional. It's gonna be neat. They're gonna use their fancy systems to electronically sign. They're gonna take all your ID. Oh, I'm telling you, it's gonna be great. But again, if you choose not to use them, that's kind of all up to you. And if you don't have those systems set up, you could be at a disadvantage, or even worse, a buyer might take advantage of that, which is definitely something that we don't want. Now, on the same point here is the legal compliance. Now, these are big transactions, and again, yes, you have lawyers on both sides to close it up, but you want to have someone who's competent in the legal clauses and documentation and writing that's going on in these contracts. And again, you might not have that as a regular seller. You probably have a day job where you're super skilled in something else, whether you're a baker, a teacher, a police officer, a firefighter, but you might not be super skilled in legalese of real estate. But as a real estate agent, that's what they do. So let them help you get into the best situation possible. They're going to be timely, they're going to work error-free, and if there is any issues, they do have that errors and omissions insurance to make sure that you're protected in the transaction, something that you're not going to get if you choose to work without a realtor. Now, the final thing on this point here is peace of mind, because that's what we really all want. We want a nice, smooth, easy transaction. Honestly, if it's going to really cost you all that extra time and effort just to do, maybe save couple grand on your commission, is it really worth it? You probably just took 15 years off your life with all the stress that you went through trying to get the transaction done anyway. So guys, the peace of mind that a qualified, competent realtor is going to give you is worth more than their 5, 7, whatever their commission split is. Getting professional assistance on literally one of the biggest transactions of your life is going to give you the peace of mind through the transaction. You're going to sleep soundly, and when that final check comes through, trust me, you're going to be very, very excited. Now, that was all about the paperwork, legal compliance benefits of working with a real estate agent. Now, number five, the last point about working with a real estate agent is the time and stress savings. I don't know about you, but money isn't everything. If I'm able to get into a situation where I can be stress-free and get my time back, that's the kind of situation that I want to be in. A real estate transaction is a complex task. You have to find the property. We have to do all the paperwork to list the property. Then we have to get buyers to come through. Then the buyers have to put offers. Then we got to review offers. Then we got to see how that works. Is there tax implications? And that's just scratching the surface. There's so much that goes on with a real estate transaction. And trust me, if you're trying to do it all yourself, also while picking up the kids, doing your laundry, keeping your house clean, I'm telling you, you're going to burn the candle at both ends, and it's not going to work out for anyone. Let us help you. Let the qualified real estate agents handle all these tasks. Show the buyers the house. Work with the offers and make sure they're presenting the information to you in a way that you understand. This is one of the biggest benefits about working with a real estate agent. Number 2 here is time freedom. Guys, I want my time back. There's no sense in making all this money or doing all these great things if you don't have control of your own time. Working with a qualified real estate agent will allow you to get your time back. Whether that's with your family, whether that's with your spouse, whether that's with your kids, whatever you want to do. Let us do our thing so you can do your thing. That's going to be the best and the win-win for everyone. And finally here, stress reduction. Guys, stress takes years off your life. We only have so much life. We just went through one of the worst situations of COVID. I can't afford to miss any more life. I already had to take 2 years in the bank there. So again, any way that you can reduce stress, especially in a big real estate transaction like this, that's something that I'm taking to the bank. So work with a qualified real estate agent and let them help you out, making sure you're getting the best money for one of the biggest transactions in your entire life. Now again, just to recap, there are 5 reasons why you must work with a qualified realtor like myself. Market experience, wide level of marketing and marketing tools, negotiation skills, their expertise in paperwork and legal compliance, and finally, time and stress savings. Guys, it's Isaiah Henry. This is the Real Deal Durham Podcast, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. It's Isaiah Henry here on the Real Deal Durham Podcast. I'm super excited for today's In the Community section. I'm very excited to highlight my friend David Hoyle and his business, Hungrieyes. Now, Hungrieyes is a private chef and catering business founded by my good friend, Chef David Hoyle. He's located in the Durham Region, but he serves all over the GTA. Now, Hungrieyes, which is spelled Hungrieyes, like hungry eyes. It's really cool. I like it. It was established for the purpose of serving unique in-home dining experiences. Now, Chef David provides a curated experience for each of his clients based on the event, serving style, dietary restrictions, and culinary taste. Go on, boy, do your thing. Now, he works with you to create the perfect menu for your event, whether it's elevating your night or whether it's, entertaining some people at home. He really takes it to make it an unforgettable experience, and I'm super excited to feature him on the podcast today. Now, David has gone to the extra lengths and he wants to give all of you guys an offer. So just for listening, he just wants that, to help you guys out, give you guys a special offer just for you. So again, if you reach out to me directly on the pod or go DM David directly, let him know you were listening to the Real Deal Durham podcast. You don't want to miss out on his special date night special. Get one bottle of free wine when you book for an event for you or your special someone. Go ahead now, all right? Or even make it a double, triple date. Bring your parents, your friend, whoever it is. Again, if you're gonna book something like that, definitely contact myself or David. We'll get you in touch and we'll get you that free bottle of wine. Is a great offer. Thank you, David, for presenting that offer to our audience. We like that. Book now, guys, and also share this offer with any wine lovers you know. We trying to get that in everyone's hand there. Again, if you're looking for David, he's all over social. You can find him at his website. It's hungrieyes.com. That's Hungrieyes.com. He's also on Facebook and Instagram at Hungrieyes, spelled the same way. Guys, thank you so much, David, for being a great contribution to the community, helping out with some great food, connecting people. I always like to connect over food, so this is super awesome to have my friend David on the podcast and featured here, guys. Again, this is a Real Deal Durham podcast. Shout out to David and Hungrieyes for the feature, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. And if you stay with me this long, you probably saw my shirt. We just had a party on the weekend, and I had to wear it. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it, so I thought I'd wear it on the pod. Anyway, in today's Q&A section, this came from a DM on Instagram. So again, if you're following me on Instagram or on YouTube, TikTok, definitely slide in those DMs. And if you have any questions related to real estate, buying, selling, or investing, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot them in there. Maybe we'll feature you on the podcast. So here's the question. Hi, I am a college student looking to get started in real estate, but don't have the capital or funds to start. However, I do have the knowledge of wholesaling real estate and able to help current real estate professionals who are looking to mentor me and grow my knowledge in the real estate market. What should I do? Honestly, great question. I've been there. I remember being I'm not old, but I remember being a slightly younger individual trying to get started and really put my foot in, whether it's buying for myself, getting started in investing. So great question. So got a couple points here. First thing I would do, now this goes for him as well as any newcomers into the industry, you gotta try house hacking. You can scrape together 5% down. I don't care what you do, cut grass, deliver papers, work 2 jobs, scrape together that 5% down. That's gonna be your best option to get into a house, whatever market you're in. So once you got that 5% together, you're gonna go in and you're gonna buy a 2-unit property, or you can buy a regular single family home. Just know you're gonna be renting the rooms and living a little bit closer together with some individuals there. Now, if you have 5% down, we also have programs for you that we can actually top you up to that 20%. And no, it's not a loan. It's nothing you have to repay back. But we've got some really interesting programs that if you have that 5% and you want to qualify at that 20% mark, please reach out, let us know. I'd love to top you up and see how we can show you that we can just get you up to that 20% so you can qualify for the property of your dreams. So first thing, man, I would start with house hacking. The next thing I would do, I would go into lead generation. My guy said he had experience in wholesaling and gathering leads for real estate agents, which again are high value skills. So use those, man. You don't gotta keep those on the side. These are great ways to get into real estate, especially if you have a high value skill like that. So when I started wholesaling. That was my first couple deals. I started wholesaling, and again, I didn't have a massive buyers list. So what I did is I worked with a couple of qualified wholesalers. What was it? Ontario Property Deals, CCHB, Vellenor Properties. I looked at a couple there, and I was able to kind of take my deals, shop those deals to those wholesalers, and split the wholesale fee. Yes, again, I didn't get the whole big, massive $50K wholesale fee, but I was able to get these deals turned over, which enabled me to get the capital to continue moving in my real estate agent and real estate investing business. So I would definitely recommend doing some co-wholesaling, working with some qualified wholesalers in your industry to just get those deals turning and make sure you get those funds coming in. Now on the realtor side, listen, realtors are always looking for leads, and myself included. We've actually introduced a referral program starting at $2,500 that we can get anyone who's bringing those qualified leads. It starts at $2,500 and it goes all the way up to $10,000. So if you're interested in our referral program, please leave a comment or send us a DM. We'd love to share a little bit more on that program with you. But yeah, so I would start with those referral sources, lead gen or co-wholesaling to make sure you're getting some income coming in. Now on the mentorship. Now this is something I just want to touch on quickly. When you are looking for a mentorship, please don't ask. Don't go up to these people and say, hey, can you mentor me? It's just not a good look. It's not the vibe. That's not what's going on. Don't ask, just do. If you find someone that you want to be mentored by, just go out and do. Find out what their pain points are and just go meet them. If they need videos edited, find out how to edit videos and get them done. If they need help, lead generation, go generate leads for them and show them your value. If they just need help, getting lunch together, or they have kids and they just need someone to, take care of the household, offer to do that kind of stuff for them. Don't make work for them as don't make work for them in a sense where they have to tell you what they need and kind of integrate you into their life. They're busy enough, trust me. If you can go out of your way, find out what their needs are and just meet those needs, that's how you get in front of them, and that's how you kind of manifest those organic mentor relationships. So again, don't ask, just do. Again, final things here, you also want to make sure it's always value-based. Whatever you're thinking of mentor-wise, how can I add more value to my mentor or my mentor circle to make sure that's the way that I'm contributing? Hey, the mentorship might be in a form of time, it might be in a form of services, it might even be in a form of money. But if you're able to provide value to that mentor or that mentorship group, that's going to be your best way to get some mentorship out there. So hey, I hope that helps. Also, you can go check out my book, The Rookie Real Estate Investor. I think I got a copy right here. Boom. Yeah, so go get a copy of The Rookie Real Estate Investor. Great place to start. Free resource. You can get it right off my Instagram or on YouTube there. Check it out. That's a great resource to get started. But hey, thanks for the great question. Again, if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid. Slide into those DMs. Drop me some comments below, and I'd love to feature you on the Real Deal Durham podcast. Guys, we'll be right back. All right, guys, welcome back. Guys, we're done. Another episode of the Real Deal Durham podcast in the books. Guys, thank you so much for joining the community. I hope I'm doing an amazing job connecting the communities and taking the community, real estate, and bringing them together, because that's what it's all about here. Guys, if you haven't checked out my Durham neighborhood and price guide, make sure you check that out. You can either get that off my Instagram, YouTube, or DM me directly. I'd be happy to give that out to you. If you're watching on YouTube, don't be shy. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Love to get this podcast out to more people. And if you're listening on any of the audio platforms like Spotify, Google, Apple Music, leave us a 5-star review, maybe a comment or a review. Be nice to your boy. I got a shirt on. You can comment on the shirt, the hat, whatever you want. All comments are nice, but if you got something mean to say it with your chest, because we'll have to clap back if we need to. Guys, if you're a Durham-based business entrepreneur, or you know someone who's a Durham-based business or entrepreneur, I would love to feature them on the podcast. Don't be shy. Get in those DMs because we want to make sure we're spreading the love to the Durham community, and I'd love to feature them on this. Finally, guys, shout out to Apollo for the music, and thank you again to David from Hungrieyes for the feature in the community section. Guys, I hope you're getting great value out of this podcast. If there's anything that I can do to provide more value to you as a podcast host, as a community member, or as a realtor, please let me know, and I'd love to help you out. It's Isaiah Henry here. It's the Real Deal Durham Podcast, and we'll see you guys all on the next episode. Peace!